Before we jump into the episode today, I want to share something with you from my heart. First of all, thank you so much for listening to the podcast. I really can't tell you how much your support means to me. We've been doing the podcast now for almost 4 years. I can't even believe it. And I'm so grateful for each and every single one of you that listens, shares an episode with your friends, sends me a DM or a text message letting me know how an episode resonated with you or any aha moments. Seriously, I couldn't be more grateful to be able to create this podcast. It has been such a blessing in my life, and I love hearing the ways it's been able to provide value in yours as well. One thing you might not know is how much work it takes to be consistent with a podcast. In fact, did you know that the majority of podcasts don't make it past episode number 10? And we are well beyond that. And it's just a lot thinking of the episodes, recording them, editing them, managing the guests, making sure that everything runs smoothly and gets uploaded consistently and regularly. And so that's why I have created an amazing opportunity for you to support the podcast monetarily. And in exchange for that, you will get exclusive premium subscriber content. So for as little as $3 a month, you can become a premium subscriber of the podcast. And every month I will upload new voice-guided workouts and breathwork meditation audio for you. So that way you can work out with me, coaching you in your ears. You can also take a moment to reduce your stress and relax and come down and ground down with one of my breathwork audios. So if that is on your heart to support the podcast for as little as $3 a month to become a premium podcast subscriber, I can't tell you how much that means to me and the growth of this podcast. I appreciate you. If you're interested, click the link in the description, become a premium podcast subscriber, new content every month, and while supplies last, I'll send you an exclusive podcast coffee mug so you can have your self-love and sweat coffee every morning. I appreciate you. Now let's get into the show. Welcome to Self-Love and Sweat, the podcast, the place where you'll get inspired to live your life unapologetically, embrace your perfect imperfections, break down barriers, and do what sets your soul on fire. I'm your host, Lunden Souza. Hey friend, it's me, Lunden Souza, online lifestyle transformation coach. I help people all over the world just like you who know they are meant for more, get their mind right and their body tight, and go from crazy busy to crazy happy. And hey, if it's our first time meeting, welcome. So happy to have you. And if you've been with us for a while, it's so great that you're here too. I'm really excited to share this episode of the Self-Love and Sweat podcast with you. Hey, I want to tell you quickly about 2 ways that you can get connected beyond the podcast to up-level your health, your life, your fitness, reach your goals, but also support the podcast as well. So the first option is our Self-Love and Sweat monthly members-only meetup. We meet up on the last Saturday of the month on Zoom for 90 minutes to cover some important topics, to answer your questions, and then to also do a workout together. It's a great way to have that support, have that accountability, get supercharged, and get reminded that there are other people all over the world on this journey of self-love and sweat, and you don't have to do it alone. You can join your first month for only $1 using code SELFLOVE1 at checkout, and then it's $27 a month after that. So you go to lifelikeLondon.com/monthly, use the code SELFLOVE1 at checkout to try us out, test it out for only $1 for your first month, and then you can be on board to listen to the podcast, join up on the meetups, and just really feel like you're connected and thriving on this journey to reach your goals. The second option is our Strong at Home for Women 8-week dumbbell-only workout plan. We have women all over the world getting stronger from the inside out right at home, right? So we're ready to take action to get stronger despite the circumstances of the world. And we know that we're not about to do that alone. So embark on this 8-week journey with us. You can go to lifelikeLondon.com/strong at home. You can pick up your 8-week plan. And the exciting thing is that every 8 weeks, we open it up, myself and my co-coach, for VIP all access coaching with us. So not only do you get the plan, but you get Zoom fireside chats with us. You get an exclusive way to chat with us anytime so you can ask your questions, share your progress. And we're always continuing to stay connected and motivate and inspire each other on our journey to get stronger, no matter what that means for us. So if you know that you're meant for more, you're ready to get stronger from the inside out, and you're just like, yes, I need a plan and some structure, something to tell me what to do. I know I'm ready, but I need that coaching. I can't do it alone. We are here for you. You can go to lifelikeLondon.com/strong at home, pick up the plan, figure out when our next VIP all access registration is opening so you can get that support and guidance. And the third thing, I said there was two, but the third thing is you can do both. You can join us for those monthly meetups. You can be there for the 8-week program. You know, this coaching and this support is here for you. We want to get you real results that last so you never have to start over again. And so you guys are awesome. Enjoy this episode. Get connected. Self-love and sweat, friends. Okay, so today we are going to talk about keys to set yourself up for success. Now, I'm going to be giving examples that pertain to like fitness, health, and wellness, and success, and setting yourself up for success surrounding those goals. But this really pertains to really anything, like anything you're going after. If you want to set yourself up for success, these keys are going to be important. So make sure that you're taking notes, that you're writing down aha moments, and that you're really tuning in to these key points. Because like I said, whether you're on a health and fitness journey, like those of you in my Strong at Home for Women program, or you're going after a different goal, maybe something personal or professional that's different than like health or wellness. And these keys for success are going to be super helpful and super valuable, really regardless of what you're going after. But my examples today are going to be very specific towards fitness, health, and wellness goals and the plan to set yourself up for success surrounding that. Okay. So I'm really excited to talk about this topic today. I think it's really important to get this set up and this foundation and these keys, kind of squared away, checked in with before feeling like you need to go after and do all the things. We need that setup. We need that clarity there. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. Okay. So the first key is your why setup, right? Your why and the setup surrounding your why. Okay. So in week 1 of our Strong at Home for Women program, we cover figuring out your why, leaning into your why, finding your why. Okay. And when it comes to setting yourself up for success, I'm going to ask you what your why setup is like. And what I mean is, are you reading it when you wake up in the morning? Is it written down places that you can see, whether it's on your bathroom mirror or your background of your phone? How are you checking in and living and executing day by day, moment by moment, this why that you set up for your goals? Okay. So if you haven't set up a why for this goal that you're going after, oh my gosh, that's so, so, so important. It's the roots for the tree. So when the storm comes, because it does, sometimes you really are rooted in that reason of why you came to do business with this goal. And so it's just going to be so important that you root down in that why. And so for me, it's something that I've memorized, and I want you guys to memorize it. Or if it's a little bit longer and you write it down, like have it on a piece of paper, have it on a note in your phone, set it as a background. Like I said, put it on your bathroom mirror, put it in your visor in your car. When you blocking the sun out, it's right there. Like make sure that it's in a place that you are constantly reminded of it. That's really going to be your setup for success. You need to be reminded of this is what you came for. This is why you started this journey. And that's super, super powerful. Okay. So that's one key to setting yourself up for success. Totally is your why setup. I can't tell you how many times people have come to me and said that they have, they've created their why, whatever. And weeks down the road, it's like, okay, where's your why? What is your why? Have you read it? Are you reading on a daily basis? Are you meditating on it? Feeling what that feels like, embodying yourself in that why. I tell you, the more you can kind of lean into that, it's so, so powerful. And people just forget about it. They'll write their why down and then they'll like put it in their journal and close it. And it's like, hello, it's super, super important. So make sure that you have your why set up. Okay. I want to see it. You can send me pictures of your why on your mirror, of your why on the background of your phone. Shoot me a DM on Instagram at Life Like Lunden. I love when you guys slide in the DMs with, feedback and you guys doing actually a lot of these tips and implementing, the workouts and the mindset tips and strategies and setups so that you can really crush it. I love seeing you guys in action. So please, please share that with me. Okay. So that's the first one, your why setup. Okay. Think about where is my why showing up in my life and how am I actively reading it and cultivating it and living it and embodying it. Right. Okay. So that's the first one. Number 2. Get your setup and test it. Okay. So set up your plan, right? So when it comes to fitness and health and wellness and strong at home for women, you have the workouts. You also have opportunities to work out with me live on the Salute app, right? There's different ways that we can connect and you have the plan and it's up to you to get your setup and get that plugged into your calendar, get that plugged in for the week, for the month, whatever that might look like, and test it. Right? So if you need to wake up a little bit earlier in order to get your workout in and then shower with enough time to, go to work or set up your home office setup or just, maybe you're like, okay, and then I want to take a lunch break walk and like all the things we want to do, we need to get that set up and we need to get that planned. We need to plug that into our calendar so we can bring it to life. And then we can say, hey, does this work for me or not? I tried to work out in the morning, but it's like, I just would rather have that extra 20 minutes to sleep. And when I work out at 11 or if I work out at 3, like that feels good for my body. And I feel like it's just easier. It flows into my schedule better. I can be more consistent that way. Great. Those realizations are major and you need to have them. But in order to know, hey, what works for me or doesn't, like you got to set it up and then you got to be the person that does the thing. You got to do the thing. You got to do the things that you say you're going to do, that you put in your calendar, that you get set up there. And, that's why I always say start small too, like with little things, just plugging in, 1 extra workout, 2 extra walks per week, like ways that you can incrementally grow. So that way, when you're testing your setup, it's like doable. It's realistic. You're not feeling like, oh my gosh, I'm doing all the things. And it's hard to tell like what's working or if this is working or not. I just feel like I'm overwhelmed trying to implement it all. Just choose a few things, plug that in your calendar, make time for your workouts, make time for your meal prep, make time for, your quality sleep, looking at that schedule. When are you going to fall asleep? Setting up a better morning routine, a solid evening routine to kind of get into the flow of the things you need to do, quickly, more efficiently, more effectively, and test it out to see what works for you, and I love crafting why statements with my clients. And I love crafting morning routines and evening routines because it is so unique to the person and certain things work well. Like, movement in the morning is great, but what does that movement look like for you? Is it dancing to your favorite song or is it like your strength training workout for the day, right? So get your setup and test it. Right now, we are in week 2 of Strong at Home for Women. And that's our theme of the week is, the keys to setting yourself up for success. And this one of getting your foundation rolling, like needs to be done and thought about in week 1 and week 2 and just really solidified and executed because we have, the 8 weeks and it's a short, long time. It's like, it could fly by, but it's also enough to effectively get results and progress. And so sooner rather than later, getting your setup and testing it out so you know which changes you need to make quickly, you can do that. Okay, you can do that. That's the second one is get your setup and test it. Okay, so number 3, the key to set yourself up for success, okay, is be real about what you need. Okay. If you need support, you need to ask for help. And I know that's so scary and can be so uncomfortable, but like,
we have to, if we're going to set ourselves up for success, we need those people in our lives, coaches, mentors, friends, that circle, that foundation, those people that are just like there for us so that we can tell them, hey, this is what I need. This is how you can support me. I need help here. I need, help in those areas. One of the biggest keys to not have success is to try to do it alone and to isolate yourself. Okay. So really get real about what you need and ask for that help. Tribe up. Don't do it alone. For me personally, accountability helps me so much. My dad was a teacher and I was a really excellent student growing up. And that accountability and those checks and balances of like daily check-ins helped me so much. And for the longest time, I fought against that because I'm like, you don't need someone to like tell you what to do or like be there to, but I really, really thrive that way and I connect that way and it just feels really good. And so right now, one of the goals I'm working on for like my mindset and spiritual practice is daily meditation and journaling. And so I have a really close friend of mine and he's working on meditation and journaling. And like, we've just been showing up for each other every day, writing in this journal, giving feedback about our workouts and our meditation and just all of our healthy living practices. But that for me is like super important and holds me accountable. And sometimes he'll tell me, hey, Lunden, you like skipped the journal a couple times, or I left you some comments in our journal and like you didn't respond. I asked you for the link to, this meditation that you did or whatever. Like knowing that there's a person that I respect and I respect their time and I respect their opinion and I feel safe around them. And I feel like, okay, I can open up and share. I feel like I can trust that person. It's just one person. I have a few other people like that in my life, but he's definitely a major one. And I'm so thankful for his friendship and his accountability and for him being there for me in a way that I know we both need, right? So he's like, yeah, I thrive that way too. Like I need the daily repetition. I need that accountability and that support. We're both very big on the compounding effects over time. So like we're on day, I think 47 of doing this journal and meditating daily. And it's been so awesome and really, really great. And being open about what we need and how we can support each other on that journey is so, so important and so helpful. So if you know that you need to check in with your accountability buddy once a week and Zoom or a phone call is better than just like a text. And it would be better if you guys could do some workouts together, maybe live or just text each other and start at the same time and then text each other when you're done, send a sweaty selfie or whatever. It's like, what type of accountability do you really, really need, my friend? And like, I know it can be scary to ask for it. And you might feel like, oh, why do I need that? But we all need things in different ways. We all need support in different ways. And so like ask for, support from others and then say, hey, how can I support you? How can I show up for you? How can I provide, accountability and all of that for you in the best way that makes you feel good and makes you feel supported and most successful. So think about that and ask for help. Okay. Super important. Okay. And then the last one is making sure that you set up those milestones and check-ins. Okay. So when you're on that journey to making progress and setting yourself up for success, right? You have your why, you've defined what that success looks and feels like for you. Set up the milestones. When are you going to, track, let's say like your inches or your body fat or how fast you ran or your mile time or, how many push-ups you can do in a minute. Like when are you going to retest yourself to check in on that success? Setting up those milestones. Hey, I want to be here by this time. I don't know. Maybe you're writing a book and you want to have the keys to, kind of set yourself up for success, having the milestones of how much you want to have written by then or what progress points you want to have reached by then, that's going to be really important. And even check-ins like with yourself, with your accountability buddy, like make sure when you set up your plan and you figure out this is what works for you. Okay, this is what I need. I'm going to ask for help. I'm not doing it alone. I have all this, going on. Okay, what are we checking in about? When are we checking in? What are these milestones we're going after to try to reach there? And, so that we're checking in along the way. Setting yourself up for success doesn't mean just like starting and then not setting up any checkpoints along the way and just hoping that you get to the end with the results that are desired, right? That's not how it works. So those are the keys to setting yourself up for success, your why setup, get your setup in your calendar, all that kind of situation and test it out to see if it works for you. Be real about out what you need so you can ask for what you need, right? And then set up your milestones and your check-ins so you can say, okay, am I on that road to success? Am I going in the direction that I say that I want to go, in the time that I feel like, is effective. And sometimes we're like setting up milestones where we're like, I got to check in on those too and make adjustments, right? We can always make adjustments to those if we feel like, hey, where I expected or thought I should be, is really not what's effective and the best right now. Let me reevaluate some of those check-ins and those milestones and know that I'm serving with excellence. I'm doing my best, but I kind of have to make some adjustments there. And having being able to take a step back to do that and to say that is really powerful too, or else we just keep going, trying to set up all these milestones and reach these milestones. And we're like continuously coming up short. A key to setting yourself up for success is kind of reevaluating what you've set up for yourself over time too. So not just in terms of like the setup and the time that you're working out and all that calendar setup I talked about, but the milestones in terms of progress and like what you have done or accomplished in time. Sometimes we're thinking like, oh, it's going to be there, but I need a bit more time here. Compassion for self, readjustment, tribing up, telling our people, hey, we're going to change things a little bit. I feel like this would be better, more attainable, make me feel better, less maxed out. I need your support here. So you can see how all of these keys really work together. Okay. So you guys are so amazing. I am so excited for all of your progress, all of your success. Please share it with me on social media. Tag me at Life Like Lunden. I love to see all of it, and talk to you next time. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Self-Love and Sweat, the podcast. Hey, do me a favor. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, give us a review. This really helps a lot. And share this with a friend. I'm only one person, and with your help, we can really spread the message of self-love and sweat and change more lives all around the world. I'm Lunden Souza, reminding you that you deserve a life full of passion, presence, and purpose, fueled by self-love and sweat. This podcast is a Hit Spot Austria production.